Hello, my name is Erin Wimert. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. This class is a part 2 to Lower Back Love part 1, which I did about a year and a half ago, and I just never did part 2. So here's part 2. It is going to be a yin focus class and geared around just opening up space for your low back. Who doesn't love that, need that, want that all the time? I have a blanket I'm using, bolster. You can have a couple blocks nearby, just get all your goodies. And I hope that this feels really nice for you. As always, my classes are donation-based. Pay what you can, if you want, or if you can't, I'm happy you're here, but if you'd like to contribute, my information is in the movie notes. All right, so we're gonna get started seated. I'm gonna sit on a blanket. If you have one, I feel like they're just really nice to get your hips off the ground so that folding forward is a little bit more workable, tolerable, manageable. And if you're really tight, you might stack a couple blankets. Okay, so for our first shape, we're gonna bring the feet together in more of a diamond position. And some of you who are a little bit more open, you might be able to bring the feet closer. Totally fine if that's what you prefer. And we're gonna move into a forward fold. Some of you might just go straight forward. If you're feeling like you need some props, you can use blocks under your knees. You can also, I like to stack blocks between my feet so I can rest my head down. You could also use a bolster on its edge if you needed. You could set that up any way you want. You can get creative with your props. Some of you might just go straight forward without any props. If it feels like your hip flexors are tight, I'd bring something under your knees. And if folding straight forward doesn't work for your neck, then have something to support your head. And in yin yoga, we're striving towards finding stillness for an extended period of time. So that's why the props are helpful. And if you need to adjust in any sort of way so that you feel a little more comfortable, do that now. Let's take a slow, full breath in and out. Let as much of the body relax as possible. Our aim here is to relax the muscles. Let the bones get heavy so that we can move into the drier tissues of our body, our ligaments, our tendons, joints, connective tissue, which is much drier than our muscles. Notice if there's any tension in the low back. See if you can relax the glutes. We're going to get into some different angles of the hips today, which I found is most effective when just releasing tension in the low back as a whole. Let's take another 3 or 4 breaths. No rush to get through them. If you like to take them slow, do that. I encourage that. Yin yoga is all about enjoying sensation. When you feel supported enough with props, you can do that. Now, while keeping the neck long, take an inhale and begin to lean back like there's a wall behind you. You're going to lean back into big breath. Yes, that's good. Okay. Release your props, bring your knees together, and extend the legs out. So, For a forward fold, some people might just go forward. You can slide the hands under the calves and hang out here. Some people like to have their blocks as armrests so that you can relax the arms. You can also make a table with your blocks and your bolster and rest there. If you're feeling really tight, you can rest your head and your hands. And if you're tight in your legs, another nice thing to do is bring something under your knees. If I had another blanket nearby, I would roll it up and bring that under my knees. You could also bring your bolster under your knees. I'm actually going to switch out my bolster. There we go. I'm gonna roll this up and bring it under my knees. Now I can relax my legs. This is one of my favorite shapes to release the low back. I find that a forward fold followed by a twist is really, really nice, and I want to offer that to you. The shape is also great for stretching out the entire spine. If your upper back is tight, this can be a really nice way to release tension there. Notice if anywhere in the back of the hips you feel tension, gripping, holding, clenching. Just feel yourself intending to let go. Relax the tops of the thighs, the inner thighs. Think about using your exhale as a reminder to relax the body and get heavier. Let's see if you can slow down the next 4 or 5 breaths. Feel that on the exhale, there's that invitation to go deeper, to relax more, to release more. Let's take one more fuller breath in and out. Again, like there's a wall behind you. Just slowly inhale up with a long spine, lean back. Let's take another big breath and to roll the shoulders up and back. Oh yeah, maybe drop the head side to side. Okay, remove your props. And then come back onto your forearms for a moment. Hammock pose. You can let the shoulders shrug if you like. And then just drop the knees side to side. When you're ready, press on up. Bring your right shin in front of you. And press your left knee back in line with the hip. You'll feel your front knee in line with the hip, ankle in line with the knee. If you feel intuitively that you need to adjust anything, do that. Now, you can either go forward. I like to use props, either blocks or bolster. This would be least intense, and your left hip is going to lift up. You could also go over the right knee. You could fold over the right thigh. And the deepest variation would be to shimmy your right shoulder underneath the right knee and maybe have something to rest your head on there. That's another option as well. I'm feeling pretty tight today, so I'm just gonna fold over my knee. And see if you can relax your top left hip. Notice if there's any clenching there. Allow yourself to sink into the bottom right thigh and hip. Let's take a couple slow breaths to settle in. And start to notice where you're feeling the most release, the most sensation. And begin to breathe into that space. As if your breath could create space, just simply through awareness. Let's take a couple more slow breaths. As you inhale, lift the heart, pass through center. Come on up. I'm going to give you a couple options. Option one is you grab your back left shin, lean to the right, and bring your leg around for Sukhasana. I have my left leg in front of the right and I'm crossed at the mid shins. Some of you might be able to come into fire log, stacking ankles and knees. So this is not fire log. We don't want to roll and suckle the ankle. Try to bring the ankle over the knee, and you're welcome to bring support under the knee. You can sit on a blanket if you need. Make any adjustments so that you feel like you're not panicked and you can't remain connected to the breath. The breath is always the key. And you can take it forward. You can stack as many props as you like. And when things feel intense, we usually tend to grip, especially in the hips. See if you can relax the outer hips, relax the inner thighs. Feel the exhale connect you to gravity. Just a couple more breaths. Gently press the earth away as you inhale. And then just use your hands to release your top leg. You can extend things out, maybe lean back, shake things out, roll out the ankles. Okay. And then we'll move into our 90-90 shape on the second side. Bend your left knee in front of you and then press your right knee back. Got about 90 degrees in both knees-ish. Again, you can fold over the left shin, the knee, the thigh, or shimmy your shoulder underneath the knee. And then it can be nice to rest your head on something there. Relax the top right hip. Soften the bottom left thigh. Notice how as you move into a deeper state of relaxation, the breath becomes a little more shallow, less audible. And start to breathe almost like we do when we're sleeping. Let's take a couple more slow, full breaths. Bring the palms down as you inhale, press the earth away. And exhale, grab your back shin, your right shin, lean towards the left, and either bring your shin out in front of you for Sukhasana, crossing at the mid shins, or bring right shin on top of the left for fire log. You know, we just want to avoid rolling and sickling the ankles. If you need support under either knee, you can use that. Maybe you're just staying upright. You can make that table with your blocks and your bolster in front of you. And each side's a little different. We usually have a dominant leg, which means one side's a little tighter or a lot tighter, and that's okay. See if we can relax the inner thighs, soften the outer hips. relax your body even more for the next few breaths. Inhale up. Ooh, release your top leg. Oh, lean back, shake things out. You can point flex, roll it out. Okay. We're gonna make our way onto our back. And if your neck is tight, or even if it's not, you can have a pillow there. You may or may not use this, so I'll just keep that handy. And we're going to come into another one of my favorite shapes, which has been so useful for me when I find that my low back is hurting, which happens to me when I get stressed out. I take my stress in my low back. Maybe you can relate. Extend your legs out and stretch the arms up, and then walk your arms and your legs as far as you can to the left, without lifting your right hip up. So right hip stays down. And some of you might cross your right ankle on top of the left. You can do the opposite, or you don't have to do either if that bothers your knees. And you can just have the arms up. You can have them in a cactus, maybe reach for opposite wrist or elbow. If your shoulders are tight, I would recommend grabbing your bolster and bringing it under your arms so that you can rest your arms there. And then hopefully you feel like you can relax your right shoulder. And once you settle in, see if you can relax the ankles, the inner thighs. Let the right ribs expand open. If you feel any tension in your low back, you might back out a little bit. For the next minute and a half, just feel the body relax more and more. And on the exhale, let it help you get there. Start to deepen the breath. And on your next exhale, bring your right leg to center, your left leg. Release your arms by your sides and just pause in a brief Savasana. Feel the difference between side to side. And then we'll move to side two. When you're ready, stretch your arms up. Bring your arms and your legs to the right as far as you comfortably can without lifting the left hip up. And you don't have to hook your ankles. Sometimes that bothers people's knees or ankles. And just find whatever crossing gives you the most optimal sensation. Settle in, take a big breath, and exhale, relax. Whole body heavy. No tension, no gripping, no holding. Feel the breath in the body. Slow inhale through the nose. And open the mouth, exhale. Start to unhook your legs. Bring everything back to center. I want to offer one more twist that I have found has been really helpful in releasing tension from the low back. So go ahead, bend your knees, and you may use a bolster for this. I'm going to use one. I'm going to put it on my left side. Eagle your right leg around the left once. If you can go twice, great. Bump your hips towards the right, and then drop your legs to the left. And then having a bolster under your shin or your knee can be really nice, so you can feel like you can just relax the legs. If it doesn't feel like you can relax the legs, then try support. Your arms can be in a T shape or a cactus shape. If you find that your right shoulder is really tight, you can bring a block or a bolster underneath of it. We'll just be here for about a minute. See if you can, again, relax the inner thighs, the outer hips. Find your breath, take an inhale, and as you exhale, tone your abdomen to unwind the legs, center off your hips carefully, release the right foot, and just take your time moving to side two. Left leg once or twice over the right. You can bump your hips to the left, drop your legs to the right. Sometimes I feel like if my low back needs to crack, this does the trick. Take just a couple more breaths. Let them feel really good. Just signaling to the body you're about to move. And then on an exhale, bring the knees through center. Place your feet wide, center off your hips, and just knock your knees side to side a few times. And draw the knees into your chest. Lift your head, and if you can, wrap your arms around your shins. Just find a little tuck through the tail. Lengthen the low back. And then release everything down for your Savasana. You can wag the hips side to side a few times to find length in the low back. Maybe wag the toes in and out a few times. Just let them fall open. Take a big breath in. Breathe all the way down into your pelvis, the front, the back, the sides. And exhale. Feel the length and the width in the back of the hips. Feel the freedom in the space. Please stay here as long as you want or need. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.